What is that? Ah, it's nothing. I must be delirious. Hello everybody and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today, finally getting back into Path of Exile with a new video based upon their up-and-coming season, Delirium. I know my little hook was delirious, trying to find the right word. Anyways, what I'm going to be doing today is actually playing the trailer for you. The devs will be talking a little bit about what it's going to be like, and then I'm also going to read through an article. But first, if you're new here, welcome. Here at Action RPG, I stream, I do tech reviews, I cover major gaming news, but the big portion of this channel, all things Action RPG. So if you grew up loving the Diablo series, if you're a fan of top-down isometric hack-and-slash style games, you are in the right place. So please consider subscribing and supporting smaller channels. All right. Let's get on to the news. As always, I will share my thoughts. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below. Here we go. All right, so let's get right into this. So right now I'm actually on Polygon Games with an article written by Ryan Gilliam. So I'll read through a little bit of this and then I'll actually play for you the Delirium 4K trailer right here at Action RPG. But first, let me read through some of this. So Path of Exile Delirium lets players add even more to the game's ridiculous skill tree. Make the game harder by entering the Delirium Encounters Shrouded in Mist by Ryan Gilliam. So on Tuesday, Grinding Gears Games today announced Path of Exile Delirium, the game's first expansion in 2020. It's an expansion about facing one's inner fears and makes some of the game's legendary fights even more difficult. And as a reward, players can add new skills to the end of the game. The game's already ridiculous skill tree. Now, if you have not played Path of Exile, I will actually show you what this skill tree looks like and explain just how much more they're going to add to it. I mean, it really is ridiculous. An update with the expansion will go live mid-March. In different areas of Path of Exile, players can encounter the Mirror of Delirium. By interacting with the mirror, players will shroud the nearby area in mist. The mist makes new monsters spawn and existing monsters more powerful. The mist can increase the difficulty in all kinds of situations, such as act bosses like the Brine King, and old expansion encounters like Ambush Strongboxes, Incursion, Breach, and Betrayal Encounters, which are all previous seasons or expansions, however you want to word it. With Delirium, the harder the encounter, the better the reward. Different areas offer different wards, and players can eventually go to the end game maps and use Orbs of Delirium to apply Delirium to that area. As players travel deeper into the mist, farther away from the Mirror of Delirium, the fights get harder and the rewards get better. So here's just a little picture of kind of how it works. You're going to have these cluster jewels that you'll put actually at the end of the node right here, and then a little branch will come off and you'll get a new node. One of the coolest things coming to Path of Exile with Delirium is a new type called cluster jewels. Cluster jewels are new skill tree nodes that players can use to customize their exile. Players can earn these cluster jewels during the Delirium League and attach them to jewel sockets at the end of Path of Exile's passive skill tree. With jewel clusters, players can create their own skill trees and can even link some jewel clusters together. These clusters are randomly generated and they can come with a notable passive randomly selected from a pool of 280 additions. Players can also re-roll the clusters to fit their needs. Grinding Gears Games claims that this is probably the biggest change to player builds since it added Ascendancy classes in 2016. Path of Exile players can also pick up new skills like Blade Blast and Kinetic Bolt, both of which to create new builds for knife skill users and wand wielders. There is also new unique items coming to the game, and the popular Metamorph League will stick around as part of the main game. Path of Exile Delirium will hit PC live servers on March 13th and come to consoles a week later. It is a great time in the gaming community to be into action RPGs. I just feel like there's more options than ever. That's what I'm here for. Okay, so if you have not played Path of Exile, or you wonder what everyone talks about when we talk about their skill tree or passive skill tree, check this out. This is the skill tree or passive skill tree for Path of Exile. Now, you know, some people would say that like Wolcen, Lords of Mayhem, kind of copied Path of Exile, how they did it, but in Wolcen you can spin the different levels on here. So these are all the different nodes in Path of Exile, and now imagine being able to add 280 more. 280 more are coming to this skill tree. It's pretty cool. I really, really like it. Okay. I'm not going to dive any more into this expansion. I would rather let you guys watch the 4K trailer, and then you could hear a little bit about from the devs at the end. Without further ado, Path of Exile, Delirium Expansion, March 13th. Enjoy.
What will you find in the darkest reaches of your mind? Come, step into my world of twisted illusion. Witness the birth of fear. Move quickly through the mist of madness. There's fiends and horrors beyond all reason. And if you're lucky, you'll be rewarded with power beyond all reckoning. A little madness may expand your mind. Fury will be your downfall. So come, exile, and experience my final wonder, Delirium.
Hi, I'm Chris Wilson from Grinding Gear Games. Touch the Mirror of Delirium and your nightmares will manifest as reality. Existing enemies gain terrifying abilities and new foes emerge from the mists. Plunge deeper into the Delirium to seek deadlier terrors and even greater rewards. Delirium affects all Path of Exile content to greatly increase its risk and return. Consume orbs of Delirium to put entire maps into a state of Delirium. Each orb increases the intensity and adds a new reward type. Combine splinters from these maps to reveal Delirium's mysterious endgame encounter. Grow your passive skill tree by placing cluster jewels in its outermost sockets. Craft these jewels to improve their passives, add one of 280 new notables, or graft additional sockets and exclusive keystone passives. Experience Delirium on Friday the 13th of March.